Hi everyone, I'm Shae Chester and I'm the National Community Educator for Canteen Australia. I've been with Canteen since 2009 and I've been fortunate enough to work over many different roles within the organisation and across Australia, which means I've worked with our teams, but more importantly, our young people and their families when cancer crashes into their worlds. I'm very passionate about working collaboratively with the community to grow our services around Australia to support more young people and their families.
Hi everyone, thanks for taking the time to join Shae and I today. My name is Ross Jacobs and I'm the manager of the Canteen Online Support Service. My background is in psychology and social work, and I have a particular passion for the ways in which technology can be used to reduce some of the barriers young people experience in accessing the best possible mental health care. Shae and I are here today to share some tips for school professionals on how to support your students when cancer crashes into their world, while also dealing with life in isolation because of the coronavirus and the physical distancing restrictions that have been part of our lives for the last few months, for our community's health and safety primarily, but also something we've all had to deal with. The world and life as we know it has changed drastically in the first half of 2020 due to COVID-19. And just like when a significant illness crashes into a family's world, we understand that for many, COVID-19 has also come crashing into their worlds. It's added an extra layer of complexity and challenge to the already complicated lives of modern adolescents. You may not have seen your students for a couple of months, and so much may have happened in their worlds during this time. Unfortunately, cancer doesn't stop for pandemics, and some of your students may have been impacted by a new diagnosis themselves or of their parent or sibling. Some of your students may have had their parents or siblings die from cancer during the time away from school. There may also have been times where your students have died during this time and you're wanting to support their friends and the school community.
Canteen is a charity that supports young people and parents who have been impacted by cancer. We know that living with cancer can present many physical and emotional challenges to both patients and their families, and in turn can also impact students' experiences at school. With the help of Metricon, we are also now able to extend our support to community education for school professionals to help the school community when cancer impacts their students and families. We recognise that all schools are different and are made up of very different support systems. Canteen has worked collaboratively with educators and school staff for many years, so we are wanting to share what we have learned from talking to our young people and their families about their experiences at school when they have been impacted by cancer. We believe that working together with the schools is a way to support the families more fully and can also prepare the school community for students who may be impacted by cancer in the future.
Whether they're dealing with a close family member's cancer or their own, our studies show that young people experience high or very high levels of psychological distress, which in turn can significantly affect their educational outcomes, as well as their behaviour at school. Young people often internalise their anxiety to try and stay strong for their family, or in an attempt to appear normal to their peers. At Canteen, we often hear that when cancer is in a young person's family, they just don't feel like the pain and grief they're personally going through is important enough to raise at home, making school an even more important part of their lives than usual. In reality, a cancer experience frequently means young people may struggle with poor attention and irritability during class, completing homework on time. They may, for example, be visiting a parent or sibling in hospital or taking on more duties at home while a parent is absent, or maintaining friendships within the school community or struggling to integrate into new school settings.
As a school professional, what can you do? You can establish a point of contact to the school for updates. If you have the opportunity, talk to your students and their families about how they're going and find out what you can do to help support them. Perhaps identify who in the school is best placed to be a key contact person. Is it the homeroom teacher, the wellbeing support team, or the principal? By establishing a support person or two at the school, it reduces the need for the young person or parent to update every individual teacher and can reduce the stress of repeating themselves. Establish extra time for students to complete classwork. A student may be expected to take on extra duties at home when their family has been impacted by cancer. Often our young people will need to help out more with housework or care for younger siblings if their parent is having treatment, or if one of their parents has died, the other parent may have to take on more work. By establishing some guidelines to help the student keep up with their required work, extra time to complete tasks, or to ensure extra supports in place, this can reduce the stress for the young person to keep up.
And similarly, and if appropriate, it can be helpful to provide the student with a pass-out card from class to be used when it's all getting too much for them to participate in regular school activities. We're aware this can be a fine balance between young people being able to choose to step out of situations when their emotions are strong and also staying focused on their education. Yet this is where individual judgments about your student, your school, and your class environment are key. We don't want young people to have to white knuckle through educational content they're finding incredibly tough due to their family situation. But nor do we want their education unduly interrupted because of cancer. We've found that some students and school professionals don't know how to support their friends and students during a cancer experience and often don't say anything at all because they're concerned they're going to say the wrong thing. While this is completely understandable, not saying anything at all can make young people affected by cancer feel even more isolated. If they're coming back to school after isolation due to COVID-19, the last thing a student needs is to feel even more isolated by not being able to talk about their experiences at home. It can help to start by asking the student if they'd like to talk about their experience, perhaps by sharing with other students what's going on. They may want to be part of this conversation, or they may want you to facilitate this without them being there at all. They may even wish to keep this information private, and you need to respect that, but also ensure that they have support around them at school. Be patient with them. Each day they may feel different about how much they want to share, but generally people understand the need for some kind of space for class or school community to be able to talk about what they are going through, even as a way to support their cancer experience appropriately. If you require further support for your school, Canteen can provide resources to do several things. The resources can help friends and classmates better understand what a young person goes through when cancer crashes into their world and how they can help. You can see our full range of books and order free copies or download at canteen.org.au/resource, including our guide to Canteen for schools. Some students have found that raising awareness and funds through our National Bandana Day fundraiser has helped them show support for their classmates. To find out more information on how to host Bandana Day at your school, jump onto our site.
We work with 12 to 25-year-olds who have or had cancer themselves, are dealing with a parent's cancer, are dealing with a sibling's cancer, or are coping with the death of a parent or sibling. We also now support parents, particularly in how to talk about cancer at home. Canteen can provide tailored individual support to your students impacted by cancer. So if your student is needing a little bit more help to deal with the cancer experience, you can connect them with a Canteen psychosocial worker who will develop an individually tailored care plan with them. Counselling is also available and can often be delivered during school hours if this is appropriate. You can refer your student to Canteen through our quick online form at canteen.org.au/refer, or you can call our 1800 835 932. You can also encourage the young person to join Canteen's online community to connect to other young people impacted by cancer and find out more about Canteen events and services at canteenconnect.org.au. And as mentioned, we also provide support to parents through our Parent Connect, which is parents.canteenconnect.org. Canteen is here to help you and the wider school community support students who are affected by cancer. We can provide in-school cancer awareness education. Canteen has developed a free interactive school-based program when cancer comes along to educate young people about what cancer is, cancer warning signs, cancer risk factors, and how to support a friend who is impacted by cancer. The program aligns with the National Curriculum for Health and Physical Education. To host the program at your school or find out more, go to canteen.org.au/school awareness.
A cancer diagnosis can considerably disrupt a young person's education. Adolescents may experience difficulties keeping up with their grades, maintaining friendships, and feel anxious about returning to school after treatment. Robots allow a young person to remotely connect with school. Providing a robot allows the young person to remotely connect with school when they're unable to attend and supports their education and connection to their peers during treatment. For more information, visit canteen.org.au/research/robots-project. But perhaps the most important messages we want you to know now is that we know it goes best when Canteen and schools work together to support young people when cancer has come into their lives. We know that students and families get the best support when everyone in their corner is working together. And we'd really encourage people in the school community to reach out to us at Canteen for support where and when you need some expert advice around supporting young people when cancer has happened in their life. We know that working together over time and meeting the needs of young people as those needs change in response to diagnoses or treatment is the best way to support not only the young person but the family, because we're all in this together.
We can do this. So thank you for listening to us today. And remember, we are here to do this together. So please reach out if we can support your school. Thank you.